And with that defeat, Wolves season is over. Thank you very much for watching my videos throughout the season, and I'll be back in August for the start of next season. Southampton 2, Wolves 0. End of the FA Cup, end of the season. Wolves won't get relegated because there are 3 teams, believe it or not, there are 3 teams that are worse than Wolves, and they will be absolutely fine. So we just need to bear the last 15 games of the season. There's nothing at all to get excited about now. And Nuno's got a lot to answer for again with his team selection tonight. Before the game on the live stream, tried to justify it a little bit and say, look, obviously the point is to try and stay in the game, keep it 0-0, perhaps until the 60th, 70th minute, then bring the big guns on and go for it. But I think we've really emphasised how little depth there is in this squad. Nuno should be able to play a different front three for a game like this, but they just showed that they are completely different class, in not a good way, to the 3 that came on towards the end. Fabio Silva, I'm really sorry, he's not a footballer. I've heard it from other people. I've tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I know he's young, but he has not got the athleticism. He hasn't got the power. He hasn't got the pace. He hasn't got the strength to be a professional footballer. I cannot see it. I cannot understand the scouting that went on behind him and how they managed to spend so much money on somebody who played 1 professional game, and that's what we've got. Is really concerning about our recruitment. I mean, we've criticised their recruitment for years and spoken about how how we've managed to sign players like Jesus Vallejo and people like that. But to go and spend what I imagine was the large chunk of the transfer budget on one 18-year-old who had played once, abysmal recruitment, and we're going to pay for it because nobody's going to want to sign him after his performances for us recently. He's rubbish. I'm sorry. He is rubbish. As for Gibbs White, I was really hoping that he would do something today and be positive. He got into the box a couple of times and fell over. Apart from that, did nothing. Neves found him with a really good pass in the second half, but he didn't do anything. He didn't make the correct run, didn't do anything with the ball. Rubbish. Vitinha, poor game today. Nothing happened from him. But one of the worst players tonight, and the one that ultimately cost us the game could have still been going on had we nicked one towards the end, but Leander Dendoncker, thought he turned a corner recently with a couple of good performances, but today, absolutely awful. Everything that he did was just rubbish. Passing a ball aimlessly out the back towards nobody, sort of just losing the ball constantly. Awful play. His pass back to Ruddy for that second goal, what he was thinking then, I do not know. The only positive that I will take from today's game, is that Romain Saiss in the centre of that back 3, to me, I know he wasn't perfect, nobody was perfect tonight, but to me, he's a better option than Connor Cody going forward. He's more versatile. When they were talking about, we miss Cody's long balls over the top, well, Saiss is perfectly capable of doing that as well. His haircut looked stunning. That was another good thing about the game. Really liked his short hair. And I would back Saiss going forward in that back 3. Ruddy, people will criticise him probably for his for conceding 2 goals, but I didn't think he couldn't have done much more with that first goal. It was very bad luck with the way that he bounced back off him. Another day that hits the post or goes wide. That's bad luck. That's not his fault. The second goal is Dendoncker's fault. Ruddy perhaps could have booted it upfield as far away as he could, but I think he was trying his best to keep the ball live and keep. We needed to keep possession and to try and get upfield. Dendoncker should not have made that pass anyway, backwards like that. That was, just summed up how we're playing recently, and the mistakes that we're making at the moment is really frustrating. And the game plan was obvious for Nuno as well. That's the other thing. The game plan was so obvious that somebody like me could work it out before the game, that we were going to try and keep it tight, maybe nick a goal, and then we were going to bring on the big players if we needed to. There was just too much work for them to do in the last 20 minutes or so when they came on. But, you know, I really do worry now for the summer. Because as I said at the beginning of the video, the season is over. There's genuinely nothing at all for us to look forward to for the next 3 months that the season goes on for. The best we can hope for is that the season is null and void, and we don't have to go through any of the next 15 games, and we're still in the Premier League, and there we go. We can start again with a fit Jimenez and some more players in August, because I am dreading. I'm dreading the next 3 months of football. Let me know what you thought. Sorry, Johnny as well. Let's talk about Johnny just for 1 second before I leave. Johnny, I'm relieved to see him back. He's such a Tim Spears on The Athletic described him as being like as going back home to see your parents and comfortable and warm. It is very much like that. He's a very, very good player. I think like I said a couple of weeks ago, I think we've missed him more than we've missed Jimenez recently. And, you know, there's no surprise that in the second half when he came off, it all fell apart, and it all came down that left hand. No, it didn't come down Southampton's left. So it was Hoover's fault. Another young player who's not really cutting it at the minute. Anyway, subscribe if you want. Maybe